Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle, and that's Bubs. We're going to do a tarot collective for today. Today is Wednesday. It is May 13th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use Deck of the Undead by Hattie Thorne. You can find this at hattiethorne.com. You can find it in our Etsy shop. Y'all know it's one of my favorites. I bought a second copy because I'm that crazy. I probably should buy a third. I put her link in my link tree. If you're ever in there and you see it, feel free to click. I don't get commission. I don't get free decks. It sounded like I said decks. I just like to support her because she is the queen of tarot cards. She really is. I hope everybody had a good hump day. We got 2 on the table. Ooh. Bob, why don't you go lay down? Sorry, I feel like all snotty and I don't know. Not this morning, but I think, was it Monday morning, I think? I woke up and I felt like I had a cold. I don't know, it lasted like maybe 10, 20 minutes and then it was gone. Baby, why don't you lay down? You don't need to sit on the hard floor. We got 3 on the table. Someone doesn't want to leave a situation or leave a person or leave a community, but they feel like it's getting to the point where, like, am I going to choose myself and my own happiness, my own health, or am I going to stand in line and play follow the leader? Like, and what is this going to do for me? Like, what is this going to cost me? We got 4 on the table, 1 major. Well, now I can't say anymore because then I'm going to give the whole reading away. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We got 5 on the table, 2 major, no reverse. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. Last shuffle. I think I got a little too much sun today. I can't tell. Like, is my nose red? I'm cute, though. I'm cute. 6 on the table. 7 with bottom of the deck. All right. Wait, what's the top? There's my girl. Oh. Top of the deck. All right. Let's sit that on top of the box. We got 7 with bottom of the deck. Let me show you what we got. We got 2 of Pentacles. 6 of Swords. 5 of Swords. We got Death. We got Temperance. We got 10 of Pentacles. And bottom of the deck, Page of Swords. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So somebody feels like it's either them or a situation, them or another person, them or a community. The thing is with the Death and the Temperance card, like somebody's going to exit. Somebody's going to leave a situation or leave a group because they're going to realize they got to take a chance. And with the Temperance, the 10 of Pentacles, it's kind of it's giving like somebody's going to take this chance and leave this community. And with the Temperance and the 10 of Pentacles, it's like it is going to be the best thing that they ever did. I'm not going to lie, it kind of gives take how it resonates, and I'm just saying it because it's kind of like the underlying energy, but it doesn't have to be your story, right? Like it doesn't have to be. It kind of gives like when you go no contact with your family. And no, you're not jumping up here. And I only say that because I've done that myself. And it's making that decision for me personally. It wasn't even something like I thought about like over a long period of time. Because up until I literally made the decision to go no contact, I had thought things would work itself out. Like things would just naturally go back to quote unquote normal, even though there was never any normal for us. And literally it was a split second decision. Like, I'm going no contact. I guess this is what has to happen. And it's sad that it gets to the point where you literally have to choose your own mental health and your sanity and your emotional well-being, your physical well-being too in some cases. That really wasn't my case, but in some cases, right? Sexual well-being. And then to feel guilty about it. Because there's guilt there. There's guilt there for leaving. It's your family, right? Your family is always your family. It doesn't mean they're a great family. Doesn't mean that they're saints. But they're your family. There's guilt about who gets left behind that is in the same boat as you. They're just as used and abused as you were. There's guilt about leaving them. And, there's a question of what is my life going to look like going forward? If I don't have my family, who am I? If I don't have a family, it's just me. And I don't know how other people feel when they have to do that, when they've had to do that. But for me, I would not change a thing. I would not change a thing. The only thing I would have changed was not doing it sooner. Somebody's coming to that realization. Hattie Thorne wrote on the Temperance card, she mixes the cure or the cause. Like me leaving a situation, me leaving a group of people. What is that going to do for me? Is this going to be the best thing that ever happened to me? Or is this going to literally, drive my life into the landfill or into the shithole, and I'm going to have to run back with my tail between my legs. I mean, 10 of Pentacles. You know, like she wrote at the bottom, she wrote legacy or landfill. And I think with the Page of Swords, she wrote at the bottom, what a shocker. I think with the Page of Swords, this person is really surprised by how well they do on their own without this community. And it doesn't have to be a family. You know, this could be somebody like leaving a neighborhood and moving. This could be somebody leaving a workplace. This could be somebody leaving a church and going to a new church. I mean, you know, or leaving a church and never going back to church. I mean, it could be, you know, it could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be family. Because when you think about it, it could even be just like picking up and moving to a new city. You know, you don't know anybody there. You don't have friends or family there. Like that would be like me picking up and moving to San Diego. I don't know anybody there. Like I would, you know, little fish in a big pond, right? Not that I would be scared to do it. I would do it. It's just, you know, it would be something different. It would not be the same. It would not be the same. Not that that matters either, because I'm the hermit. You know, how many times have I told you guys, like, I'm perfectly fine on my own. I don't need friends. I don't. Are they nice? Sure, they're nice. You know, it's great to hang out with people, but I love being by myself. I don't need people. Somebody's going to be really surprised about leaving whatever this situation is and going off on their own, and realizing, like, I can do it on my own. I can make it on my own. I don't necessarily need a community behind me. I don't necessarily need the same community behind me, you know? Like, I have the will and the drive to survive. I can figure it out, right? With the Temperance card, like, this is somebody realizing they can balance themselves out. They'll figure it out. When you look at this Death card, it says, welcome back. Welcome back to the land of the living. You know, if this was some type of negative situation, it was some type of stifling community, again, whatever that means for you, if it resonates, it might literally feel like you're alive again, you know, like you're a new person, like you're reborn, death and rebirth, right? What does that say? There's like words missing, but on this Five of Swords, there's like a sign on the brick wall behind this character. It looks like it says, no one makes it out clean, is what it looks like it says. This person could have been running away from addictions too. Like if this is a friend group or a community or a family, I mean, maybe they all have like addictions, and you know, they all support each other's addictions, and you know, maybe somebody just realized, like, I got to get out of here, like this is killing me. Take how it resonates. And not to put anything on my ex-husband, but when him and I were together, he's always been a heavy toker, you know, if you know what I mean. And that's, that's fine. That's who he is. That's, that's what he does. That's his main hobby, I guess you would say. Um, I didn't want to do it, right? But I was a drinker. So he would do that and I would drink. And they just kind of play off of each other, that energy. And at some point it just kind of gets like, I don't want to toke and I don't want to drink either. Like, and I don't really give a shit if I'm not the life of the party anymore. And then when you get off substances and you get clean and you stop drinking regularly, you realize like, I don't need that shit. What do I need that shit for? So I can wake up half drunk in the morning, so I can wake up like, hungover, so I can have headaches for days on end, my stomach feels off for days on end, like I'm killing my liver and my pancreas and my lungs and whatever the fuck else, like literally destroying my body. And for what? For alcohol? Really? Is that worth it? And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time I had a drink? I had like a little after dinner. It was a limoncello with my friend when we went to the pizza place in Kenosha. It was just like a little shot, like maybe a shot and a half, actually. Was that 2 months ago? I want to say like 2 months ago. And it's funny because my friend told me, she's like, "You're not an alcoholic, Kim. Alcoholic is alcoholic is, you know, the term alcoholic, what does that mean to every person? Because everybody looks at alcoholism differently. Are you an alcoholic? Am I an alcoholic? Are they an alcoholic? Do I think of myself as an alcoholic? No. Did I have issues with alcohol? Yes. And I had even told her in the past, like I had problems with binge drinking. I would drink and drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. I don't think, and this is not to throw anything in her face. I mean, I don't even think she watches these videos, but I don't think it's her place to tell me that I don't have a drinking problem. But at the same time, everybody has a different perspective on like what would be an alcoholic, what would be a drug addict, what would be a sex addict. And there are definitive terms out there, like scientists, health specialists, doctors, right? They all will say, well, if this is what you do, then you're an alcoholic. If this is how often you have sex, then you're an addict. Like there's definitions out there, right? They give everything a definition. Everybody has their own definition. Like I have my own definition. Somebody else might look at me and be like, "Yeah, you are an alcoholic." Okay. You know, the thing is I can go months, and I've said before, even years without touching a drink. Not a lot of alcoholics can do that. Then again, I think it also comes from, your sense of willpower, your sense of drive, your relationship with yourself, right? You could also throw God in there if you believe. That's totally up to you. But I don't know. Why was I ranting about this? anyway, anyway, somebody might have left a situation because there were addictions. And again, oh, that was my whole point, was everybody's definition of addiction is different. But 10-minute rant for that. You guys already know my life story. I don't know why I keep talking about it. All the new people probably want to cry. Like, why does she keep talking about herself? Like, what's her problem? Because it's a good reference. Because I don't like to talk about other people. I mean, yes and no. I'm healing, okay? I'm not perfect. I think too, there's this Page of Swords. I think this is going to be the last thing before I let this go, because I'm harping on this enough. With this Page of Swords, I think if this person left a community, whether technically bad terms, good terms, whatever the case may be, I think those people are shocked. Even if this is somebody like moving, like I said, like they're just moving, like they're, leaving Illinois and they're moving to New York, and they tell their neighbors like, "Oh yeah, I'm moving. I'm going to be gone in like a week." Like they're shocked. Do you know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, you're moving? Like you never said anything. Like your apartment's empty? Like where'd all your stuff go?" Like there's like a shock factor there. Even if it's okay, for some reason I turned it like that on the table. Um Even if it's just, yeah, like that type of situation, like people are kind of shocked. Like if somebody went no contact with a family member, a friend, something like that, like the other family members, the other friends are like, "Oh, you don't talk to that person anymore? Like when did that happen?" If this person stopped going to church because they're questioning their faith and they want to like research and, study other religions or spirituality, like they're fellow congregants, right? Congregants? That doesn't sound right. Con- Congressional? I know that's not the right term. Um, they're like, "What do you mean you're leaving the church? What do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to be, Christian or Catholic or Muslim or whatever?" Like people, like someone's like possibly being looked at with surprise. Like some people didn't think it would happen. And it's not necessarily like negative or, it's just it's surprise. Like people are surprised. And it's just one last thing. It's not that like again, if this is someone moving to another city, state, whatever, and people are surprised, it's not like people wouldn't understand like why the need would be there to move. You know what I mean? The need to move would be there. It's just kind of like it almost it gives like just like last minute, like okay, like let me just say me as an example. Like I decided to move from Illinois um to Wisconsin, okay, and I find a job there and I find a condo there and I sell my condo and I go into work and I'm like, "Today's my last day." "What do you mean today's your last day?" "Well, I got a job in Wisconsin. I bought a condo there. I'm moving tomorrow." People would be understanding, like, "Oh, I wanted to move there to be closer to family, or I wanted to be there because I got this really great job and I want to be closer to my job." Like people would be understanding, but it would still be like, like, "You're leaving? Like what? Like where are you going? Why?" All right, I'm going to leave it there. Take from it what you will. I hope it resonates for somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope everybody had a fabulous Wednesday. I had a fabulous Wednesday. As you can see, I got a little color on my face. I hope everybody has a great evening, a wonderful Thursday. I will try to be up to do affirmations in the morning. No guarantees. For some reason, Tuesday morning, like I could not roll my ass out of bed. The alarm went off at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to lay here for another 10, 15 minutes." And then I was like, "Kim, if you lay here for another 10, 15 minutes, you're not going to do affirmations." And I was like, "My people will understand. My peeps will get it." Oh my God. I don't know. I was so lazy on Tuesday morning. And it's funny because usually, not that I lay out my clothes or anything like that, but usually in my head, like I'll pick out what I'm going to wear the next day. Sometimes I look through because I have work shirts and stuff that I'm supposed to wear. So Like I'll look through my work shirts and I'll pick out my pants and I don't pull it out or anything, but like I know, like I get up in the morning and I'm like, I grab this, I grab that, I throw it on, I do my deodorant, my perfume, and I'm good to go. Easy peasy. But Tuesday morning I was like what am I gonna wear? It's like a zombie. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.